Hello everyone, this is Mr. Mahmood here, and today's video is going to be on GCSE Maths Foundation non-calculator. So we are going to look at some non-calculator topics. So if you are taking your GCSE Maths resits or even your GCSE Maths exams, this video will help you to look at those topics. Now prior to watching the video, I would recommend you pause and have a go at the questions by yourself, and then look at the answers and then mark your answers. So let's have a look at the first question. So here are some patterns made from squares. We've got pattern 1, 2 and 3, and it's asking us to complete the diagram for pattern number 4. Okay, so for pattern number 4 we need to complete the diagram. So we can see we're adding 4 squares at the end. So make sure you use pencil and ruler for this kind of question, so that if you make a mistake you will be able to rub it out and then correct it. Okay, so we've drawn the pattern number 4. Sorry, it's not very neat over here because I can't use a ruler here. And next question, complete the table. So we first of all have a look at what is it going up or down by. So the number of squares is going up by 4, so we're adding 4 every time. So we're going to add 4 to 13. So 13 add 4 is 17. 17 add 4, which is 21. So the answer is 21 for part B. Find the number of squares used for pattern number 10. Now with pattern number 10 we got up to 5. So pattern number 6 we add 4, which is going to be 25. Then add 4 is 29, then 33, then 37, then 41. Just double check that you got pattern number 10. So this was pattern number 6, then 7, 8, 9, 10. So the pattern number 10 has 41 squares. Question 2. Here is the number machine. What is the output when the input is 4? So if you input 4 here, times by 2, which is 8, and 8 take away 3, which gives us 5. So output is 5. What is the input when the output is 11? So let's have the output as 11. Now when your output is 11, you do the opposite. So instead of taking away 3, we're going to add 3. And then we're going to divide it by 2 instead of timesing by 2. So always do the opposite. So 11 add 3 is 14, divided by 2 is 7. So the answer is 7. Show that there is an input for the machine for which the output is the same as the input. So whatever number you put in the input, the output should be the same. Okay, so this could be a bit of a trial and error. So if you put 1 in, we go 1 times 2 is 2. 2 take away 3 is minus 1, so it doesn't give us the same number. 2 times 2 is 4, take away 3 is 1. So input 2, output is 1, doesn't work. 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 take away 3 is 3. So it works with 3. So we 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 take away 3 is 3. So we input 3, and the output is 3 as well. So the answer for this one is 3. Here are some prices in a cafe. So we've got the price table here. Jack orders 2 teas, 1 coffee, 1 bacon sandwich. Jack only has the £10 note. Does he have enough money to pay the bill? You must show how you got your answer. Okay, now for this one, we need to find out how much he spent altogether. So he has 2 teas, so 2 times by tea is £1.80 each, so £1.80. That gives us a total of £3.60. Next, he orders 1 coffee, so 1 coffee is £2.30. You can write it as 1 times £2.30. And then 1 bacon sandwich, which is £4.20. 1 times £4.20, which is £4.20. Let's add them all together. So 0. 6 add 3 is 9, add 2 is 11, carry the 1. 3 add 2 is 5, add 4 is 9, add 1 is 10. Make sure the decimals are aligned. It's a non-calculator question, so they'll expect you to show the working. So £10, 10 pence. So he does not have enough. He is £10, well, 10 pence over, so, or £10 short. So he is 10 pence short. Question 4. The table shows some information about 6 caravans in a holiday park. Write down the number of caravans that sleep 6 people or more than 6 people. Okay, so we can see we are looking for 6 people or more than 6 people. So we can look at sleep. So we have 8 there, more than 6. 4 is less than 6, we ignore that. We have 6 here. The rest are less than 6. So the 2 names of the caravans are, well, there are 2 of them. So Chestnut and Puffin, so 2 of them. Because it says write down the number of caravans. Okay, a lot of people, what they'll do is write down the names. We're only asking you to write down the number. So there are 2 of them. Okay, just be careful. A lot of people make this kind of mistake. Write down the names of the caravans with the C view and DVD player. Now this time is asking for the names. So let's have a look at the C view and the DVD player. So this one's no C view, so ignore that one. Seal has a C view and also has a DVD player. So the first one is going to be Seal. And the next one, Puffin has a C view and DVD player. So Puffin. And the rest of them, we don't have both included, so therefore these are the 2 answers. Next, Mike wants to hire a caravan that sleeps exactly 4 people. Work out the difference between the highest weekly hire price and the lowest weekly hire price he could pay. So he wants to hire a caravan that sleeps exactly 4 people. So first of all, identify which ones sleep exactly 4 people. So we got Seal, sleeps exactly 4. Heron and Pearl, these 3. Now it's asking us to work out the difference between the highest weekly hire price and the lowest weekly hire price. So highest one we have out of these 3 is 579. So let's write this down. So 579, and then the lowest is 449, which is Pearl, this one here, 449. It's asking us to find the difference. So let's take away, and 9 take away 9 is 0, 7 take away 4 is 3, 5 take away 4 is 1. So £130 is the difference. Here are the ages of 16 men, and complete the table to show this information. So we've got a tally chart there. So let's complete the tally chart. So when you complete a tally chart, once you have included a number in the tally chart, cross it out. So 28 between 27 and 29. So let's put a line there. 30 here, 40, we'll go over here, 37 here, 35, 31, 29. Just be careful when you're putting these tallies on. Make sure it's between their age range. 39, 34, 33, 35, 28, 40, 29, 27. So we got 5 of them now, so 4. The 5th one will go across, so it'll be easy to count in 5s. And finally 35 across, 5 of them. So we've got 5 there, 2 there, 5 there, 1 and 3. So 5, 2, 5, 1 and 3. So the frequency table is complete now. Question 6. The pictogram shows the number of tins of dog food sold in a shop on Monday, on Tuesday and Wednesday last week. So we got the information there. And keep an eye on the key. One circle represents 10 tins. On Thursday, 60 tins of dog food were sold in a shop. On Friday 35 tins of dog food were sold in the shop. Use this information to complete the pictogram. So 60 tins on Thursday, so each circle represents 10 tins, so we need 60 divided by 10 is 6 tins, so 6 circles, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And on Friday 35, so 1, 2, 3, so we've got 30 and half, which is 5. Okay, so the pictogram is complete now. Question B, more tins of dog food were sold on Tuesday than on Monday. How many more? So Tuesday and Monday we look at that. So difference, how many more on Tuesday? So we can see Tuesday there's more. So up to here it was same because 30 and 30. And on Tuesday we can see there's 1.5 circle. So 1 is 10, half is 5, so 15. So altogether 15 extra were sold on Tuesday. Question 7, write these numbers in order of size. Start with the smallest number. So we can see smallest number is -5, so write -5 here. Then we have -3, then 4, then 6, and then 9. Oops, I wrote 9 there, but it would be 6 first, and then 9. And once you're happy with your answer, write your answer on the dotted line. So -5, -3, 4, 6, 9. Question 8, work out 17 times by 34, multiplication, a 2-digit by a 2-digit. If you're happy with column multiplication, go ahead and do that. If you do grid multiplication, you can do grid multiplication as well, whichever you're comfortable with. I prefer column multiplication. 4 times 7 is 28. Carry the 2. Write the 2 on the side. 4 times 1 is 4. Add the 2, which is 6. Move to the tens. Put the 0 down. 3 times 7 is 21. Carry the 2. 3 times 1 is 3. Add the 2, which is 5. Add them together now. 8 add 0 is 8. 6 add 1 is 7. 5 on its own. So 578 is the answer. 232 divided by 8, so we're dividing, so we can do long division here. So 232, do bust up method. We can do in chunks as well, whichever you prefer. So 8 goes into 2 0 times, 8 goes into 23 twice, 16, so 7 remainder, and 8 goes into 72 9 times. So the answer is 29. Next, algebra on question 10. These are very popular questions on GCSE Maths Foundation. So 3 times p times 6 times y. So number times number, which is 3 times 6 is 18, and p times y, py. Always try to write in alphabetical order. Question B, 4 times 7 is 28. And k times n is kn. Question 11, find the mode. Now, it's always good to write the numbers in order before you find the mode, because sometimes you can count the numbers and then you lost count, and that means you will probably make a mistake on it. So let's write down the ones first, so in order. So 1, 1, 1. So we've got 3 lots of them. So 1, 1, 1. Then we have the next number is 3, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it's 4, so 1, 2, 3 of them. So 1, 2, 3. Then we have 5, just 1 of them. And then 6, just 1 of them. Then we have 8, just 1 of them, and then we have 9. Okay, so out of all these numbers, we can clearly see, if we group them, it's got 3 1s, 4 3s, and 3 4s, and the rest are 1 each. So we clearly see the mode is 3. So the mode is the number that appears the most on a group of number. Number 12, write the following ratios in the simplest form. when you get a question like this, always good to find the lowest common multiple and divide by that number. And if you're not sure, you can just divide by 2 until, if it's even numbers, until you get to the end. Okay, so you can see the lowest common multiple of these two numbers are 4. Well, it's 4. So 4, 12 divided by, so divide this side by 4, divide this side by 4. That gives us 3 to 4. And 3 is a prime number, so we cannot divide any further, so leave it as 3 to 4. If we were to divide by 2, we can divide 12 by 2, so 12 to 16. Divided by 2 is 6. Divided by 2, 16 is 8. Then divided by 2 is 3. Divided by 2 is 4. So 3 to 4. Gives us the same answer. 32 and 96. Big numbers. So I advise you to maybe just divide by 2 first. And then see what we get. So divide by 2 gives us 16 to 48. Then 8 to 24. Now I can divide 8 both sides. I know 24 is a multiple of 8, so 8 goes into 8 once, 8 goes into 24 3 times. So the answer is 1, 2, 3. We can carry on dividing by 2, but I know the multiple 24 is a multiple of 8, so probably jump a step. Number 13, find the value of angle x. Give a reason for your answer. So x, we can see it's a straight line. So x will be, and we know it's on a straight line, angles add up to 180 degrees. So x will be 180, take away 113. So 10 take away 3 is 7. 7 take away 1 is 6. 1 take away 1 is 0. So 67 degrees. So answer is 67 degrees. It is also asking us to write a reason. So angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So make sure you write your reason. That could be worth 1 mark. On a straight line add up to 180 degrees. Question 14. Fred has a recipe for 30 biscuits. So this is the recipe for 30 biscuits. Fred only has 1 kilogram of self-raising flour. He has plenty of the other ingredients. Work out the maximum number of biscuits Fred could make. So over here we can do a ratio table or like a bar. Prefer it this way, so at least you can see what's going on. So 0 grams and 0 number of biscuits. So 230 grams makes 30 biscuits. That's the information was given on the question. So 230 makes 30 biscuits. That means if you double 230, it gives us 460. That will give us 60 biscuits. Just doubling the biscuits now. Then add 230 more to 460. That gives us 690. Add 30 more to 60, which is 90 biscuits. And then add 230 more to 690. That gives us 920. And add 30 more gives us 120. Now clearly we can see 920, if you add to 230 more, it will go over 1,000 because we only have 1 kilogram of self-raising flour. So we can stop here, so we can clearly see we can make 120 biscuits. So 120 is the answer. Number 15, complete the frequency tree using the information given. 30 students were asked if they liked coffee, 20 students were girls, 14 students liked coffee, including 6 boys. When you get a question like this, always try to write down the information that is given on the frequency tree, and it will be easy to find the missing information. So 30 students were asked if they liked coffee. Okay, so we got the 30 there. 20 of the students were girls, so we've got girls, so we got 20 there. That means 10 are boys. 14 of the students liked coffee, including 6 boys. So look at the boys, and out of the 14, 6 liked coffee that are boys. So look at boys, and then 6 liked coffee. That means out of the 10, 6 like coffee. That means for the boys don't like coffee will be 4. 6 add 4 is 10. So always double check that these two numbers add up to the number before they branch out. 20 girls, so out of the 14 that like coffee, we already included 6 in the boys. That means 14 take away 6, which is 8 girls like coffee, so it'll be 8 here. Now 20 take away 8 is going to be 12 who don't like coffee. Again, double check that these numbers add up to the 20 and these two add up to the total 30. Question 16, w squared times by w to the power of 4. When we multiply, we add the powers, so w squared add 4, which is w to the power of 6. Dividing, we take away the powers, w to the power of 9, take away 3, which is w to the power of 6. Raising the powers, so 4 squared, so do 4 squared, which is 16. W to the power of 3 times by 2 is w to the power of 6. So 16 w to the power of 6. Number 17, find the value of angle x. Give reasons for your answer. Now there's several ways of answering this question. Now because we've been given these two lines, that means it's an isosceles trapezium. So we can tell that this angle and this angle are the same. So if this is 134, I can say this is 134 as well. And then x and this angle will be the same. Now we know angles in a quadrilateral add up to 360 degrees. And if I take away 134 and 134 from 360, will leave me with these two angles. The total of these two angles, x and the opposite one to the x. So let's add 134 and 134 together. That gives us 4 out of 4 is 8, 3 out of 3 is 6, 1 out of 1 is 2. Now if you take away 268 from 360, that gives us 10 take away 8 is 2, 5 take away, well that gives us 1, carry 1 there, that'll be 2, 15 take away 6 is 9, and 2 take away 2 is 0, so 92 degrees. Now because x and the angle over here is the same, so we can split 92 in 2 halves, so 92 divided by 2, which gives us 46. So we know x is 46 and this angle here is 46 as well. So the answer is 46 degrees. Okay, so give reasons for your answer. So the reason we can give is the two angles in an isosceles trapezium are same. So these two angles are the same and these two angles are the same. And angles in a quadrilateral add up to 360 degrees. The other way you can answer this question is because we've got two parallel lines, so this line and this line are parallel, so these two angles are interior angles, so we can take away 134 from 180, that will give us x, and once you found x, the opposite angle will be the same as well, which will give you 46 as well. And there's another way of using angles in parallel lines to answer this type of question. So I would strongly advise to revise angles in parallel lines as well, because they are very common questions in GCSE Maths Foundation. Question 18, given that u is 3, v is minus 2, find u plus v. So u is 3 plus, are we adding v, which is minus 2. Now always write down the both signs, then I can change the sign and then decide what I'm going to do later, add or subtract. So minus, plus and minus together makes minus, so 3 take away 2 is 1. So the answer is 1. Next, 2v squared, so write out the numbers. Always make sure you substitute the numbers first, then do the calculation. So v squared, v is minus 2, and then whole squared. Now 2 times minus 2 whole squared, minus 2 times by minus 2 is positive 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. So the answer is 8. Question 19, 35% of 240 grams. So first of all we find 10%. 10% is 24. 240 divided by 10 is 24. So 30% will be 24 times by 3, which is 72. Then we still got 5 more percent left because we need to get to 35%. 5%, which is half of 10%. 24 divided by 2, which is 12. Just add these two together. So 2 add 2 is 4, 7 add 1 is 8. 84. So 84 grams is the answer. Question B, 210% of 160. So 210% is 160. So 210% of 160. So therefore 100% will be 160 because we are finding 200% of 160. So 100% is 160. So 200% is going to be double the 160, which is 320. Now we need 10 more percent. We got 200 there, so 10% will be 10% of 160, just divide by 10, which gives us 16. Added together gives us 336. So 336 pounds. Order the following in ascending order, so small to big. So all the denominators are different, so we are going to make the denominator same or find the common denominator. So we can see 10, 2, 4 and 5. The common multiple is going to be, lowest common multiple is going to be 20. So times it by 2, times it by 2, that gives us 14 over 20. Times this by 10 and times this by 10. So just remember, whatever you times the denominator by, times the numerator by the same number. Equivalent fraction rule. So 10 times 2 is 20. 10 times 1 is 10. Times by 5, times by 5. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 3 is 15. And then times by 4, times by 4. 4 times 5 is 20 and 4 times 3 is 12. Now we made the denominator same. Now let's compare using the numerators. The smallest one we have is 12. Now when you write your answer, make sure you write down the original fraction. So we're going to write 3/5, which is the smallest. Then we have next ones. We already dealt with that one. That's done. Let's cross it out. Then we have, no, it's not. My mistake. 10 out of 20 is the smallest, which is half. Always be careful when you're writing your final answer. So 10 out of 20, which is half. Like I said, always write the original fraction and your answer. So that's done. Then it's 12 out of 20, which is 3/5. Then it's 14 out of 20, which is 7/10. And the last one is 15 out of 20, which is 3/4. Okay. It's very easy to make mistakes on this type of question, so be careful. So when you're writing your final answer, write down the original equation with fractions that were given on the question. Question B, order this in ascending order. So we got different forms, fraction, decimal and percentage. The best way to do them probably is just converting them into decimals. That's how I prefer to do them. So 2/5 in decimal will be 0.4. 0.6 already in decimal, so leave as it is. 37% in decimals is 37 divided by 100, which is 0.37. And half is 0.5. Let's order them now. So we can see the smallest one is 0.37, which is 37%. Again, write down the original form. Then it's 2/5, which is 0.4. Then it's 0.5, which is half. Now 0.4 is 2/5. So like I said, it's very easy to make a mistake on these. Make sure you write in the original form. We've done this, and the final one is 0.6 is already in decimal, so we write down 0.6. So it's been ordered in ascending order. Question 21, write down the mathematical name of the straight line shown on the circle. So we know we have a radius starting from the midpoint of the circle to the end of the circle at the circumference, which is the radius. So radius. And this line does not go to the midpoint. That's the chord. Also good to know, the outside, the perimeter of the circle is called the circumference, and if it goes from the midpoint to one end to the other, it's called the diameter. And if it's a line just going touching the circumference, a straight line is called a tangent. List the integers that satisfy the inequality. Now, in order to simplify the inequality, we need to get rid of the 3, and then we can find the values of the integers that satisfies this. So we need to get rid of the 3 here, so minus 3. So we need to minus 3 at the right hand side and the left hand side as well. So 1 minus 3 is minus 2, and x is greater than that. So 3 take away 3 is 0, so left with just x in the middle, and less than or equal to 7 take away 3 is 4. So your aim is to isolate x in the middle, and in order to do that we have to subtract the same number on the right and left side as well. Now we can see x is greater than minus 2, so we'll be not equal to minus 2, so we need to start from minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and it's equal, less than or equal to 4 as well, so we can include 4 in the integers values. Okay, so that's this one. Number 23, find an expression in terms of n, the n term of the sequence. So first of all, find the difference going up in 4s. So we write 4n. So 4 times 1 is 4. What do I need to do to 4 to get to 1? So we need to subtract 3. So our answer is 4n minus 3. You can always check your answer by substituting term numbers into n. So let's say term number 4. So 4 times 4 is 16, take away 3 is 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4th term is 13. It does work. And it's a very good way to actually confirm that you got those marks in your exam. It only takes a few seconds. What is the 50th term in this sequence? Now, when you find the 50th term, we need to substitute n equals 50 because the term number is 50. So in this n term, so 4n minus 3, let's substitute 50 in there. That's 4 times 50 minus 3, which is 4 times 50 is 200 minus 3, which is 197. Hamza says 63 is a number in this sequence. Is he correct? You must show how you got your answer. So the best way to find it is write down, form an equation. So 4n minus 3 with the n term, put it equal to 63. And once you solve the equation, if the answer is a whole number, then yes, 63 will be a number in the sequence. And if it's not, if it's a fraction or a decimal, then that means and well, 63 will not be a number in this sequence. So let's go ahead and solve it. So add 3 on both sides. So 4n is equal to 66. Divide by 4 both sides. N equals 66 divided by 4. Now 4 does not go into 66. If you simplify it, that'll give us 33 over 2. And it's not a whole number. So therefore the answer is no. Obviously you have to show your working as well. And this is all you're working here. Solve 6 brackets x plus 3 equals 8x plus 24. So expand the brackets first. So 6x plus 18 is equal to 8x plus 24. So we have x on both sides. So get rid of the smaller x first. So minus 6x on both sides. That gives us 18 is equal to 8x take away 6x is 2x plus 24. We want to isolate x, so therefore take away 24 from both sides. So 18 take away 24 is minus 6. And 24 take away 24 is 0. Left with just 2x here. And divide by 2 both sides. That gives us minus 3. And 2x divided by 2 is just x. So the answer is minus 3. Factorize fully. So we got a quadratic expression. So x squared minus x minus 30. So the product is minus 30 and the sum is minus 1. So there's different ways of doing it, but I prefer doing product and sum, and find two numbers times together gives me minus 30. I want to add and subtract, gives me minus 1. So 30 times minus 1 gives me minus 30, but it's nowhere near minus 1. Next number I can think of 15 and 2. 15 times minus 2 gives me minus 30, but it's nowhere near minus 1. 5 and 6, very close numbers. So 5 times minus 6 gives me minus 30, but we are looking for a minus 1 as well. So 5 take away 6 is minus 1. So the answer is going to be x plus 5, and the 6 is a negative, x minus 6. Factorizing this expression, find the highest common factor. Because this is factorized fully, I need to find the highest common factor. Okay, so be careful. So highest common factor of 16 and 24 is 8, and a squared a is a common factor. 16a squared divided by 8a, so 16 divided by 8 is 2, a squared divided by a is just a. 24 plus 24 divided by 8 is plus 3, and a divided by a is just 1, so we're left with just 3 here. So 8a brackets 2a plus 3. You can always expand the brackets, and if it gives you this expression here, that means your answer is right. Usually worth 2 marks these questions. If you don't factorize fully, then that means you probably will lose 1 mark. Multiplying decimal with a 2-digit number. So let's times 5.12 by 100 to get rid of the decimal. That will give us 16 times by 512. Can do 512 times by 16, a column multiplication. 6 times 2 is 18. 6 times, carry the 1. 6 times 1 is 6, add 1 is 7. 6 times 5 is 30. Move to the tens, add a 0, 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 5 is 5. Add the numbers together, 8, 7 add 2 is 9, 1 add 0 is 1, 3 add 5 is 8. 8,198. So remember, we times it by 100, so we need to divide this number by 100. So move the decimal, well, that will give us 81.98. 81.98. Question 27, 1253 divided by 4. 253 divided by 4. 4 goes into 1 0 times, 4 goes into 12 3 times. No remainder, 4 goes into 5 once, 1 remainder, 13, 4 goes into 13 3 times, 4 times 3 is 12, and 1 remainder. Now we can put a decimal here, and put a 0, 4 goes into 10 twice, 8, and 2 remainder. Put a 0 in, 4 goes into 20, 5 times, 4 times 5 is 20, no remainder. So the answer is 313.25. Question 28, work out the following, give your answer as a mixed number in its simplest form. Now when you're adding mixed numbers, add the whole numbers together, so 2 and 1 is 3. You can change them into improper fraction, but it will give you really big numbers in your fraction, so it's very difficult to manage. But if you do it this way, you keep the numbers nice and small. So let's add a quarter and 3/5. If you're not sure how to add mixed numbers or fractions, watch my fractions, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing fractions video. Find a common denominator, 4 and 5. Common denominator is 20. Basically just a lowest common multiple. Now what did I do to 4 to get to 20? I multiplied that by 5, so multiply the numerator by 5 as well. So 5 times 1 is 5. What did I do to 5 to get to 20? Multiply by 4. So times the numerator by 4 as well. 4 times 3 is 12. 5 at 12 is 17 over 20. And we cannot simplify it. Because 17 is a prime number. So there's no other number goes into 20 and 17. So that's the answer. Dividing fractions, 5, 6 divided by, change the mixed number into improper. So 3 times 3 is 9, add 2 is 11 over 3. When dividing fractions, keep the first fraction same, change the sign to times, and then flip the second fraction. So 11 over 3 becomes 3 over 11. Now multiply. Now before you multiply, try to simplify over here. What would happen is, if you simplify here, that will save you simplifying later on. And we'll keep the number smaller as well. So 3 times 3 and 6, top and bottom, so we can divide top by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, 3 divided by 6 is 2. And that's it. So 5 times 1 is 5, and 2 times 11 is 22. And that's it. So 5 over 22. So it saves you from simplifying later on if you simplify it while you're doing the working. Multiplying fractions, again, change this mixed number into an improper fraction. 3 times 2 is 6, add 1 is 7. 7 over 2 times by 8 over 9. Again, try and simplify it. So you can see 8 and 2. 8 at the top and on the numerator and 2 at the denominator, so we can divide both by 2. So divide by 2, which gives us 1, divided by 2 gives us 4. And that's it. 7 times 4 is 28, and 9 times 1 is 9. Now it's the improper fraction, we can change it into mixed number. So 9 goes into 28 3 times, 3 times 9 is 27, 1 remainder, and the denominator is 9. So 3 and 1 ninths. So 3 1 ninths. Expand and simplify. We've got a negative there, so I always recommend using the grid method when you have negatives, because it saves you from making any mistakes. So 2x plus 7 here. Make sure you write down the signs, so when you write your answer you will need to write the signs as well. We're multiplying. 2x times by x is 2x squared. 2x times by minus 3 is minus 6x. Plus 7 times by x is plus 7x. And plus 7 times by minus 3 is minus 21. Write out your terms inside the grid. So 2x squared minus 6x plus 7x minus 21. Simplify, collect the like terms. So we have 2x squared minus 6x plus 7x is plus x and minus 21. Solve inequality. So we have 5y plus 7 greater than 8y minus 12. So because we have y on both sides, get rid of the smaller y. So minus 5y from both sides. That gives us 7 greater than 8y, take away 5y is 3y minus 12. Add 12 on both sides. So add 12, add 12. That gives us, I'll carry on here. So 7 add 12 is 19, greater than 12, take away 12 is 0, left with just 3y. And divide by 3 both sides. That gives us 19 over 3 greater than 3y divided by 3 is just y. Okay, so we can write the answer as 19 over 3 greater than y. Or we can write it as y smaller than 19 over 3, on the way around. So number 32, work out the value of g when a equals minus 2 and b equals minus 7. So let's substitute the numbers in first. So g is equal to 5 times a squared, which is minus 2 squared, minus 3, and b is minus 7. Okay, so relationship between 3 and b is times 3 times b. Let's simplify it. So 5 times minus 2 squared is 4, because minus 2 times minus 2 is 4. Minus 3 times by minus 7 is plus 21. Now 5 times 4 is 20, and add 21. That gives us 41. Make t the subject, and we have brackets here. So we need to get rid of the brackets first, multiply out the brackets. So 6t plus 12y equals 4t plus 9r. We have t on both sides, therefore let's get rid of the smaller t, because we're making t the subject. So minus 4t from both sides, so that'll give us 2t plus 12y equals 9r. Minus 12y from both sides, so 2t is equal to 9r minus 12y, and then divide by 2 both sides. That will give us t is equal to 9r minus 12y over 2. Next, the table shows some information about the heights in centimeters of 60 plants. And this is the information we have, frequency and the heights. Write the modal class. And the modal class is the one with the highest frequency. So we can see highest frequency is 21. So the modal class is height is greater or equal to 50 but less than 60. So height is greater or equal to 50 but less than 60 centimeters. Okay, because the height is in centimeters. A lot of people will write down 21 here. We will write down the frequency. Always try to write down the modal class, because it will say on your question the modal class length, and make sure you have the units as well. Write the class length that contains the median. The median is the middle value, so we have 60 plants. We need to add 1, which is 61, then divided by 2, which is 30.5th value. So 30.5th value. Now we need to find out, add the frequency until we get to the 30.5th value, and that will be the height, the median height. So let's add 5 and 9, 14. 14 add 17 gives us 35. Just double check. So 9, 14, so let's do the working here, because the non-calculator always do try to be sure with the answer. So 4 add 7 is 11, carry the 1, 1 add 1 is 2, add 1 is 3, 31, not 35, but anyway, so 31, so 30.5th value lies here, so our median height will be this one here. So write down the median height. So height is greater or equal to 40 but less than 50 centimeters. Like I said, write down the units. Next we have draw a frequency polygon to show the information in the frequency table. Now we're going to draw a frequency polygon. So what you can do, you can find the midpoints of the heights. Let's get rid of these. So 20 and 30 is going to be 25, 30 and 40 is 35, 40 and 50 is 45, 50 and 60 is 55, and 60 and 70 is 65. Now 25, the frequency is 5, so let's find 25 on the heights. This is your heights on the y-axis, x-axis, and the frequency on the y-axis. So what we're going to do is 25 is 5, so let's find 25 on the height, so that's 25 there, and go 5, so this is our first point. Try to use a pencil and a ruler. 35 is 9, so 35 is 9 here. 45 is 17, so 45 is 17, that's 15, 16, 17 here. 55 is 21, so 55 here, which is 21, so that's 20 and 1 up, 21. And the final one is 65 is 8, so 65 is here and 8 just below 10 here. Now using a ruler you will join the lines up. Don't have an access to a ruler here, but I'll try to join up the line as straight as possible. And the last point here. So we've drawn a frequency polygon. Okay, so that was question number 35. Okay, that was the end of the video, and the next video before the next exam I will post on calculator questions. So like I said, always try a question yourself and then go to the answers. And if you also haven't subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing. Good luck with your GCSE Maths exam. Mr. Mahmood, helping you do better in maths.